Hello, and welcome to another edition of Potluck, your everything and anything talk and entertainment TV show. My name is Laura Hartman, and I am your host. Today we have a very special show because we have a wonderful little puppy dog. Her name is Byrdie, and she's part of an organization called Byrdies Buddies, and the person, her owner, is Peyton Jensen, who founded Byrdies Buddies. Yes. So welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
So tell us how you started it or why you started Byrdies Buddies.
Mm-hmm. The only reason that we started Byrdies Buddies, and by we, I say we because it's myself and my volunteers and my little spokesmodel here, but we started Byrdies Buddies because I don't have children and my husband said I needed a hobby. And I love animals very much, and I wanted to do something to kind of give back. And I saw the reaction that people were giving to her. And I saw when I would go into the pet stores, all these animals in cages looking for adoption. So I thought that maybe she would be a good ambassador, and she's definitely a good motivator for Byrdies Buddies. And we started the first week of May, so we're new. We're fairly new, and we're getting our word out there and just trying to make an impact and partner with local organizations to get as many animals as need as we can.
Sure. Now, tell us like what your organization does exactly.
Okay, we're very unique. We're unlike any of the other organizations because we don't take in animals, we don't foster animals. I wish that I could. I don't have a barn big enough, and she doesn't. You know, she's an only child, so she likes it like that. But what we do essentially is go to pet supply stores, mainly Pet Value in this area, all throughout Northern Virginia, and food that is going to be tossed away. Perhaps a bag was ripped in transit and they need to discard the food, or food that's going to be expired within 6 weeks to 6 months. A lot of times, big retail chains, they throw it away. So what we do is I know it's kind of odd, isn't it? But we go to basically, like I said, the Pet Value stores. Like our main one that we go to, Bird and I, is the one in Manassas. And the volunteers and I, we load up the food that is brought in and donated by them each week, as well as we have a big volunteer base, and they're all called my buddies, Byrdies Buddies. They drop off food and toys, things like that. And we pick up the donations and we drop them off at local shelters, local charities, anyone who needs it.
Okay, and do you work with other other fosters that work for?
We do. We team up with some, like the Empty Shelter Project is great. Rachel there is fantastic, and a Cat's Companion. I don't know if you've heard about them, or Dewey Cats. A lot of different feral organizations and a lot of different dog organizations, and anybody that fosters or adopts an animal in need. We give them, or offer, whether or not they take it, but we give them basically a starter kit. And it would be a gift certificate to the either normally Pet Value or sometimes Petco. We get those too because we have an Amazon wish list, and we give them the gift certificates, bowls, leashes, collars, cat litter boxes, scoops, anything from bird seed and bird cages, whatever you might need. The goal is to help you offset the cost of the adoption.
Got it.
To kind of incentivize you to go adopt a little furry companion from one of the shelters rather than buy from like a puppy mill.
Right. So like if I were a person that never had an animal, I love animals, but and I wanted to adopt a cat or a dog, you would give me a starter kit and you would tell me what to do with it? Does it come with instructions?
Actually, funny enough, Pet Value has these great little booklets for dogs and cats. I don't think that they have them yet for like birds and hamsters, bunnies, things like that. But it does say basically like a shot schedule, or like how old your animal should be before you get them spayed, and how often you need to clip their nails. And they're not specific to the type of dog. Like they wouldn't say like for a French bulldog like Bird here that you need to do everything by like 6 months, things like that. But it's just to kind of help you. And a lot of the dogs and cats in the shelters are a little bit older, so most of them have already been spay or neutered. And most of them have been given up either because like allergies or people moving, or perhaps the family's in the military, or it's not even a family, just a person that's gone overseas. So what we want to do again is to help offset cost, but also to your point to kind of help educate how to take care of an animal.
Sure. Wow. So how did you find Pet Value? I mean, did you just, and I'm sure you went to like other pet stores as well.
I went to a few of them, but funny, when I got Bird, I was so excited because I am that nerd mom, and I say mom because I kind of think of her as my furry child. But I dressed her up for Halloween, and we went to a Halloween fundraiser at Pet Value.
Oh, how cute.
Last year, and I met the owner, Bob, and he just took to her. He was like, oh my gosh, is that a French Bulldog? And I said, yes, because they're not very popular around here. They're not common around here. So we just got to talking, and I just really liked the whole staff that came out, and everybody was holding her and petting her.
Right.
And they were just the nicest people. So I just started going there and was telling all my friends to go there. And then as I decided I wanted to start this nonprofit, I asked them, I said, would you be interested? And they said, absolutely. And from that day, they started giving me weekly donations.
Wow.
They have litter drives there for us. And again, what we do is just pick up the litter that people donate, and we take it to the different organizations.
Oh,
they
nice.
have food drives. They've got something coming up for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
It actually is for Byrdies Buddies. People can come in there and give thanks.
Oh.
And by giving thanks, it's either we don't take any money.
Okay.
I don't take money. We don't take any monetary donations. It's all just either new or gently used bowls and leashes, things like that, or food.
Okay. Okay.
So we do have people that will drop off. Unfortunately, say their animal has passed.
Oh, right, yeah.
They'll bring us like Fido's dish.
Sure.
Or like I get fish tanks. I mean, anything that you can think of.
Okay.
Right, because again, to help offset costs.
Okay, so like when I've got, because I shop at Pet Value, when I've gone to Pet Value, I have donated money to get like kitty litter or.
Well, thank you, because I pick that up and I drive around in my car to whoever needs it. Yeah, so thank you for that.
No. Whenever do you want to donate $5? And I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. You know, so that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really
fun.
That's really awesome. So. Then you've worked at the Petco and have done
When I first started, I had put up on Amazon.com. You know, you can. I don't know if you're familiar. You can do like a wish list.
Okay.
It's fantastic, and you can put different items from different sites. So I went onto like Petco, PetSmart, Pet Value, and this is just when I was beginning. And I listed a bunch of different items, and people started going online, and then all these packages started coming for Peyton Jensen. So, and it would be like giant bags of litter or cleaning products, because you don't think, you know, especially in the shelters, they need paper towels and old rags, things like that. But then what I was really realizing is that when I was going to use the gift certificate, say like at Petco, I was saying, this is from Byrdies Buddies, this is what we do, and they're really nice people, but I didn't get anything back. So I just changed everything and primarily focused on Pet Value.
Pet Value, okay.
And was using the one in Manassas as kind of the conduit to get to the other Pet Value stores. And I have to tell you, the response has been amazing. From Clifton and Purcellville, Leesburg, the Ashburn stores, Centerville. I mean, just it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Bristol,
they're over
Gainesville.
in Maryland too.
Right, we're trying to conquer that area too. Now I just need more volunteers. But
Right.
they just put the food out for us or for anyone really that needs it. But they'll give me a call. And then myself and Bird, my little ambassador, or any of my other volunteers, because it really does take a lot of people to do it, we'll go pick it up and say take it to Prince William County Shelter, Manassas, or Fauquier Shelter, Clark County.
Okay.
We focus primarily on food donations for the shelters that are the kill shelters.
Oh, right.
The idea behind that is if I can offset some costs with food and cleaning supplies, then they can do
then
more
they'll do less
fundraising.
Of the killing.
Right. And they're fantastic.
Oh, wow.
They see her coming in and they're like, Bird! And they open up the gates and we go in the back and we unload the food and she says hi to some of the other dogs and cats, you know.
Aww.
So yeah, she loves it.
Wow.
And they're really nice to her.
That's great. So do you ever come across any families where they're in need, where maybe they're having like some financial difficulties and they just need some extra cat food or dog food or whatever to hold them over until...
We come across it, didn't mean to interrupt you, I'm sorry, Laura. We come across it, but not as much as I know there is a need for it.
Okay.
So I implore people, you know, and I put it up on the website, byrdiesbuddies.com, that if you have, and we're on Facebook too, and sometimes we'll get the little note saying there's somebody in my church community or our church family that's on hard times, can you donate? And absolutely.
Okay.
Because it's not for any specific type of shelter or type of person, it's anybody in need.
Right. Okay.
Whether you're adopting or you've lost your job or you're in the military and someone's watching your animals, you're over there fighting for our lives.
Right,
so let us
right.
help
Yeah,
you,
exactly. Exactly.
By giving your dog or cat. We have a couple police officers also that were wounded, and we pay for their dogs to be walked and we just
nice.
give them like toys and stuff because they're not necessarily on need. They just need some help.
Right, right.
So
Wow.
we like doing that, and of course, Bird loves to meet new people. And the big dogs that they have, they're canine dogs. She doesn't know that she's not their size, so she loves it.
Aw.
Yeah.
Wow.
She meets
That's
new buddies.
awesome. Wow. So, so how has your when you first went into this, did you expect what you have already accomplished so far?
No, did I expect to be sitting here with you and with Bird on my lap? You know, no, not at all. But it's wonderful because the word is getting out that there is a different type of organization. There is a nonprofit that doesn't take money, so you don't have to worry about where the money's going, how much is going towards the animals, how much is going towards a car payment. So it's all just donations. And, and I put a lot of stuff online, and I think that's why we've been getting such great response. Because, you know, I send me pictures of your animals in costume. You know, I love that. And people come to our fundraisers and they want their pictures up on the websites, and they get tickled. You know, so people bring in like the last fundraiser we had all these Great Danes, and it was a good. What? Am I not paying enough attention to you? It was a lot of fun, and again, she loves to be the mascot and get attention.
Aw. So, so what was she for this Halloween? This past Halloween?
Well, she was a couple different things because we had to go into Pet Value and try them on and take pictures. So she was a witch, and she was a shark. Oh, wow. That was for me because she loves the beach, right? So she was a shark, and I forgot. Oh, she was also a jester.
What's a jester?
Like, you know, basically what a French bulldog is, a clown. We go to my grandmother lives in a retirement community, so we go in there, and she's kind of like a therapy dog, and we deliver candy and pumpkins, and she's dressed up, so she loves it.
So cute. So, so where do you see yourself like in the next year, or where would you like to be? And do you want your organization to grow a lot bigger? And if it does grow a lot bigger, do you feel like you'll get overwhelmed, or
you know, that's a good question. I hope not, because we have a lot of people in the community that have dedicated themselves to getting up early with me and putting on these little Byrdies Buddies t-shirts, and whether it's cold or early or hot out, you know, and we're all standing in the pool with the dogs outside of Pet Value. But I have a great network. So as long as I continue to have that support, and as long as there are people that are willing to donate, the sky's the limit. You know, we really hope to help a lot of animals. And there's so many wonderful shelters out here. The Country Club Kennels out in Catlett that we've started to partner with that are passing on our information.
Oh, nice.
We got a call a couple weeks ago asking if we had any food for llamas. We didn't, but at least it was kind of eye-opening, like, oh, well, there's a need. That
right, yeah, you don't think of other animals, but that would be
and we started to get stuff for, like I said, ferrets and fish and parakeets and all sorts of things. So
what do llamas eat?
I don't know. I don't know. I think of that movie Napoleon Dynamite, and I'm like, ham or something like, I have no idea.
I have to like Google that.
I know, right?
And find out. So, wow.
But it is fun, and like I said, she's the reason that we do this. She walks in through the door and everybody's like, oh my gosh, look at that face.
Yeah.
And even people that really aren't necessarily dog people, they've really been wonderful about it. Even though she's the poster child for Byrdies Buddies, we do a lot of cat donations and collections, and it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, how did you, did you adopt her? Was she a rescue, or?
She was not a rescue. I've wanted a French bulldog for a long time. And when I lost my cat last year, I thought, okay, I'm going to wait a while before we get another animal. And then I just was going through pictures online, and I just saw this little litter that was born in West Virginia. And my husband's like, well, we're going to the West Virginia game. He's a mountaineer. I was like, done. On our way. Do you mind if we stop and look? And we filled out applications, and they picked us. So I know. And I was going to get a little boy, and I'm a huge Larry Bird fan, showing my age. So I had picked out Larry Bird as the name, and it ended up being a little girl.
That's why it's Byrdies.
And we just changed it to BYRD, right?
Got it.
Right.
Okay.
So yes.
Wow. So does how many volunteers do you have?
Right now we have 5.
You have 5. Okay.
Yes, but it's it's working. It's manageable, and everybody's got kind of stores and territories that they cover. So
okay. So if somebody wanted to help you out to volunteer, is it something that they have to do like on a regular basis, or can they do it
not at all
when they're like, say, hey, I'm free one Saturday a month or whatever?
We do have people that say, hey, I'm free one Saturday a month, or some of the volunteers that we have actually have started volunteering for other organizations. And if you go to Pet Value, you see the cats in the cages, who she loves to try and crawl in there and eat
adorable.
the cat food.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
Oh no.
I know, I'm like, no, buddy, no. But they actually are from different organizations that we've gotten in touch with Pet Value. So it's a nice family circle where they came to us saying, can you give us food? Sure, meet us at Pet Value. They get to know Pet Value. Now their animals are in cages that are getting adopted and fostered.
Right.
So it's nice. And some of my volunteers, and I do it too, you go and you clean the cages and you play with the cats.
Aww.
And it's fun.
Yeah.
And she goes in there and makes friends. But by that, she stands outside and they swat at her and she tries to get their food, and that's it.
And hiss.
I know, right? She's like, why don't you like me?
Right. Oh,
so yeah, I mean, we always need volunteers, and anybody can go onto the Facebook page, and again, it's Byrdies with the Y, and it's plural, Byrdies Buddies.
BYRDIES
Buddies.com. Right.
Okay.
And just send us a message, and again, anybody that wants to help.
And it's not just Prince William County; it's also Fairfax County,
anywhere.
Okay.
Purcellville, Leesburg, Ashburn, out there, Loudoun County. Anybody that needs help, if we can even meet you halfway, that'd be great. But we do drive. Wherever we need to.
Right, sure.
Especially on nice days like this. I'm like, oh gosh darn, I have to drive all the way out to Purcellville.
Right.
I put Bird in the car, some good music, and we're off. It's fun.
Oh, that's awesome. And she doesn't mind coming along to all these different places.
No, she doesn't realize she's a dog. I'm not going to tell her. So she just sits in her seat and she's like, this is great.
Okay.
Because we get to come places like this and everybody makes such a big deal over her.
Right, because she's so adorable.
Oh.
Yes, you are.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she's a good girl.
So have you run into any problems or issues or challenges since you've started, or has everything been just great?
I wish it was great. The hard part is when people reach out, especially out of desperation, and say, I need help placing this dog or this cat, and the shelters are full, or, how can you help us? And that is always the tough part. And I said before, we don't adopt or foster, but we do put up special circumstances on our site, and fortunately, all of them have been adopted.
Oh, nice.
And we do have the opportunity, like I said, to work with some of these shelters, and they'll let us know, I don't know if you remember, probably 2 months ago, maybe even longer than that, there were 34 Tibetan Terriers in Prince William County that were seized.
Oh, no, I didn't know about that.
Well, we were so honored to have gotten a call from Prince William County Shelter, and they're like, we're bringing these puppies in.
Aww.
Can you bring in food? So we put something out, and we got so many collars and food and sponsors, and people came in and fostered. And it gives you a good sense of community.
Oh, sure.
But to your point, the hard part is not getting attached, or having to say I can't, because I don't ever like to say I can't and pass it off. But sometimes you have to. So that's the hard part.
Right. Oh, wow.
It's really hard. Those are the nights you go home and you're like, oh, you just toss and turn and go, how can I help this animal? Or I don't want them to be put down.
Right.
So
when there is an animal where they could be put down, could a foster come in and take those animals?
Oh, sure, absolutely. Okay, and there's so many people around here that have such big hearts that'll do it. And they'll say, I can do it for 3 weeks.
Wow.
Well, it's kind of like a reprieve. The animal gets an opportunity to be showcased more, then somebody else can talk about how great their personality is.
So the foster would go to the shelter and be able to adopt, and the shelters are totally fine with that?
Oh yeah, they're great. You fill out paperwork. Now they're going to ask questions, because obviously they don't want somebody that has a history of, hey, of any kind of abuse or and they want to make sure they've got a good place to live. Are you not getting enough attention?
Oh my goodness. No.
And then we come in and help with the food, and here's some supplies and local dog parks, things like that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I don't think all shelters are created equal. I mean, comparing Fairfax County to Prince William County. So the same thing happens to both places?
I can speak to both of them in that I know that they foster and adopt animals, and they'd love to have all of them in safe homes, loving homes, sure.
Okay.
But I don't know necessarily all of the different programs or the costs, things like that.
No, but in regards to like if a foster wanted to go and say, I want to adopt 10 dogs so they don't be put down, can they do that?
I don't know about 10, but that'd be great. If I'll just take all 34 of them. That'd be great to put them in the car.
Yeah.
That might be someone for hoarding.
Okay.
But I think that you can go in and it's pretty easy to fill out an application.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, they all have such big hearts, and everybody wants these animals to have a good home.
Okay. Okay.
And you know, sometimes people adopt and we come in behind and say, hey, do you need it? And they're like, no, we just want to help.
Oh,
and,
wow.
and thank you for letting us know about this shelter, about this organization. And you know, by the way, we also got 2 guinea pigs for our kids. You know, so it's nice to raise awareness again for especially the kill shelters, because you want to get those animals out. Yeah, get them in good homes.
Now, do you keep tabs on these kill shelters? Like I thought I saw something about like Prince William, their animal shelter. They're trying to become a non-kill shelter.
They are indeed. I don't necessarily keep tabs, but those are the ones that I'm most focused on.
Okay.
In terms of giving the food, again, with the idea being, hey, you know, maybe you could do some more adoption events, and they're so wonderful, and they've got some great programs. Especially at Prince William County shelter, like the Byrdies Buddies.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you've heard about that.
I think I was told about it, but do please tell.
Oh, if you don't mind. And again, that has nothing to do with Byrdies Buddies. I wish that we had come up with this great idea, but for people that come back, vets and family members, what they try to do is train, and they'll do behavioral profiling on the dogs that they have in the shelters, and they'll have people come in. And I believe it's a 6-month program where they match a person in need with an animal that has been kind of cleared and trained for special needs.
Oh, nice.
So you're saving 2 lives.
Yeah.
And then here we come in with Kleenexes going, thank you so much, and would you like some food? And thank you for serving our country and for adopting and saving a dog.
Yeah.
So I do know that that's a program that they have out of Prince William County that they're really trying to push.
Okay. Well, that's somebody I can bring on the show.
Right, exactly. Be prepared for tissues, because that is a wonderful story.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
good.
Really great.
And we work with dogs on deployment, which I don't know if you've heard of them also, but whenever someone goes overseas, if they have animals in the area, this is a nationwide network, and what they'll try and do is place the military furry child with a family here, foster, and then again we come in from behind and say, here, have some food and have some
nice,
you know, local dog
Here's your
parks.
starter kit.
Here's your starter kit, right?
A little extra. We have a little extra.
Exactly. Throw you some gift certificates and things like that.
Now, do you ever find any people that maybe abuse your, you know, what you're providing to them? You know, like, I mean, like, say, like, if a family says, oh, I'm in need, but they're really, you know, okay, you give them like a month, and then next month again and again and again.
I haven't.
Okay, but if you ever ran into that situation, what would you do?
Probably just give it to them.
Okay.
You know, I mean, so long as it wasn't taking away from somebody else. I mean, we want to help.
Sure.
And if it's you know, helping them somehow, you know.
Okay. And does anybody ever get really picky, like, oh, my dog doesn't like that food?
No, not yet. I'd be like, okay. Well, considering we aren't a store, right. But in that case, I mean, but again, because like with Pet Value, they give us so many different types of food. There are some animals that have special needs, or some senior food, or some of them, you know, that they don't really have any teeth, like the really old ones that you place. So it's only wet food, things like that. Right. But we also do, especially through, like I said, Pet Value, if you have a need for anything from toenail clipping, you know, sometimes you forget that
needs to be done.
Right, or vaccinations or microchipping. We do these programs. They do them once a month there. Where you can, I believe it's like $10 for a microchip.
Yeah.
So we'll come in and pay for like the first 10 or 20 animals to be microchipped. Now again, we're not paying for it out of our own pockets because we don't take money, but we've got all these people that come and sponsor the dogs. Sure. It's fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
really
awesome.
Cool. Yeah, and a lot of people, you know, it's funny because I don't know, maybe 5 months ago, there was a baby, like a pit bull puppy that was in the road, and I had to stop my car and like kind of chase it. And when we finally came to the owners, I was asking if it had a microchip, and they said, oh, no, it's too expensive. I said, no, I think it's like $5 or $10.
Thank you for that.
So yeah, I mean, it took like 2 hours to get. You know, the police came, and it was a big...
Yeah, but you saved its life, you know, it could have...
It was a busy intersection, too, but I was like, oh my gosh, I can't just not stop for, you know, an animal that's like, I mean, she looked like she was having the best time just running
play
around
with the cars.
Yeah, just
I'll chase that.
right, yeah.
Well, you're going to probably end up like me, where you've got one of these, the cars that's got like the bottle of water in it and the treats to lure.
Well, no, I had to. There was a 7-Eleven across the street, so there was a guy that helped me, and I ran across the 7-Eleven, and I got a can of dog food and some 2 bottles of water. So that, yeah, and it was very hot and humid, so it helped. But so great. So what are some goals that you have for the next coming year?
To be honest with you, I would like to expand, and I appreciate this platform to do that. I would like to teach her to sit for longer than 15 minutes at a time, short-term goal. But we would really just like to get the word out and be able to help maybe more church organizations or more shelters.
Sure.
Because there are a lot of people in need, and and if you know somebody in need, they're not going to necessarily want to come forward and say, hey, I need a handout, because no one wants to,
nobody wants to admit
prideful.
That, yeah.
So I mean, I just want people to be aware of us and to know that we are out there and we can help, and we are not like any other organization. And I really want to. I don't want these things sitting in my house. I want to get these collars on puppies and dogs that are adopted. We want to get these leashes out. We really want to make a difference.
And you have toys too.
Oh, tons of toys. We've got costumes. We're starting to get stockings.
Oh, nice.
So it's nice.
Great.
It's fun, and I also want to raise awareness for these stores that really want to help in their community.
Yeah.
Like Pet Value,
right.
And they're all over the place, and they're not one of these huge chain stores, but they are trying to really make a difference.
Yeah.
Aren't they? Yes.
Yes, they are.
What?
And I shop there too. So, but thank you so much for joining us. And
I can't thank you enough for having us. We're both little busy bees right now. Sorry.
Does Byrdie have her own Facebook page?
She does not. She has her own organization.
Okay, but
so we figure maybe that'll be a goal.
I think you should have a page where we can like
maybe get you on Instagram.
Where we can like you. Yes, definitely.
But we are
about
definitely
you,
on Facebook, and it's me and my volunteers. So if you put something up, you can't private message me, because we are all admin rights on there.
Okay.
But the point of that is to have as many people helping as possible.
Sure. So. And again, the website is
ByrdiesBuddies.com.
BYRDIES.com. Great.
Yes.
And if you're just joining us now, you can catch us this version on the web at www.potluck-online.org. And we'll see you next time. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.